Welcome back, guys, to Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, where, with lots of reinforcements coming in of the Begnion troops, it looks like the boss is pretty much dead. Pretty much. I don't think he can really stop Jeffrey killing him. So with that said, we turn our attention to everyone else for the experience that currently stands on the map. Let's see what we can do, or what we can get, if you know what I mean. We could try for a lucky hand axe critical going downwards from above. That's always an option for us. Oh, it's not going to really happen, but still, all the same. We're looking to do as much damage or get as much experience as we can in the small amount of time. So I guess we leave Jeffrey for the boss, and we try to kill our axe and hope for the procs. The proc! Not so much. Oh well. We tried once. We retreat. We tried twice. So Killer Lance can't kill that guy no matter what. And nor can a Killing Edge. They can get experience. And Khalil can also nuke from down above, well, from up above, if she wants to get some experience herself. But then, basically, defeating the boss will end this anyway. So it's all pretty much on trying to center on killing at least one of them. So we'll let Makalov do the duty, just for fun. And watch all the killing weapons fail, and this one guy is just going to mash all my troops. Well, no buildings are on fire. I guess we can count on that as our victory. Oh my goodness! Not a single enemy was slain this day. Do you know what? As a point of principle, I could just fly Marcia up there. That is an actual option. All that said and done, though, we're going to take out the easiest opponent right in front of us here. Because the enemy aren't going to move again after all once the boss is dead. So we'll get Marcia some experience. We got them all attack experience. They can deal with that. Back into the bush with you. And if we really wanted to give it a go, after all that killer weapon failure, so yet again, 4 killer weapons fired, not one critical. Has my luck abandoned me? If it has, it's abandoned me in an okay chapter to abandon in, I guess. I would run away, but there's not really much I can run away to. As we finish up with one Steel Great Lance hit for definitely 100% worth of the damage. I am Jeffrey, the commander of the Crimean Royal Knights. Do you command these men? Knight of Crimea, you are clearly guilty of treason against Begnion Empire. Do you understand what it means to send an army against us? You've just killed your people. You have been warned. Queen Elincia will not accept any further acts of violence or banditry within our borders. Withdraw your troops immediately, or I cannot guarantee your safe return. Decide. Quickly. How dare you take that tone with me? I'll put you in your place. I already know what place we're in, and it's a place where you do not succeed. For Kieran critical, do you know? But then they couldn't get anyone else. As Jeffrey reaches level 20. A perfect level to Master Crown him up and gain some extra defense. Well, considering he's a Lance Paladin, we're going to have to judge him against Oscar if we ever get the chance. The Empire will not forget this. Once our main forces arrive, they will slaughter you like cattle. Well, I think you'll find that is chapter over, sir. Try to slaughter us if you will. Good. The enemy is retreating. Knights, stay here and help to fix the damage done to this village. Well, nothing's on fire currently, at the very least. Good work, Jeffrey. You sent them running. Lucia, what are you doing here? I'm here to protect Her Majesty. Superb work, Jeffrey. You have my thanks. Your Majesty, forgive me. I could not avoid a confrontation with the Imperial army. It wasn't your fault, Geoffrey. However, I'm afraid our situation continues to deteriorate. Lucia, I appoint you as envoy to negotiate a treaty with the commander of the Imperial army. They might be willing to listen now. I shall leave immediately, Your Majesty. Days later, what result will this meeting have obtained? Senator Valtome, I sincerely regret having to meet under these circumstances. Oh, I completely agree, Your Majesty. I never dreamed we suffered so much mistreatment from our allies. So you've decided that Crimea will side with Gallia and honour the alliance with those filthy subhumans over ours? As I said before, Crimea remains neutral. Crimea will side neither with Begnion nor the Laguz Alliance. That is my final answer. Ah, then please enlighten me. Why prevent us from getting what we needed? Begnion is your suzerain. You should be delighted to comply with our request for supplies. But instead, you launch an ambush and inflict horrible pain on us, your loving guardians. Now, Begnion is a patient parent, but I do hope you realize that your actions thus far have amounted to treason and sedition. You have violated our borders, stolen from my people, and inflicted harm upon them. I will not allow such actions within my land, no matter who the aggressor may be. How quaint. Your Majesty, do you know what the penalties are for the crimes you've committed? I can only assume you do not, or you would not so rashly endanger your life. But don't worry, Queen Elincia. Once Begnion has your crown, along with your head, removed for treason, I'm sure we will take very good care of your people. Senator Valtome, I think after the dust has settled, I'll place my portrait right over your throne. It was a pleasure chatting with your Majesty. I am leaving now. She's all yours, General. Your Majesty, please forgive my superior officer's insolence. Wait, I recognize you. You came to our aid some time ago, during the Mad King's War. General Zelgius, wasn't it? Yes, Your Majesty. This is the second time I've had the honor of seeing you. I sincerely apologize for my army's actions during the resupply operation. Please forgive us. The Begnion Empire and the Apostle gave us much support in our reconstruction effort. Crimea will always appreciate Begnion's generosity. However, Crimea and Gallia are allies. As such, we cannot take a side in this quarrel. Please understand. I understand, Your Majesty. Our forces will refrain from levying supplies while in Crimea. Oh, thank you for your understanding. However, I must ask you to agree on these 2 points. First, the Imperial army shall be given leave to pass through Crimea toward Gallia. Second, we shall be allowed to engage the Gallian army in towns near the Crimea-Gallia border. Excuse me? This peace talk is meaningless. You will still do battle and spill blood within our borders? I'm afraid this is the best I can offer. It's sometimes necessary to cut your losses for the greater good. Please think on it. Tomorrow my army will begin marching toward Gallia. If the Crimean army does not interfere, I will take it as a sign of agreement. Farewell, Your Majesty. General Zelgius, please wait! Does the Apostle know anything about this war with the Laguz? It's just very hard for me to believe. Is this war truly the will of the Apostle? That is not for me to answer, Your Majesty. Then at least tell me this. Is the Apostle safe? Excuse me. I must go. General! And so, another chapter ends. What will become of this? What will become of Crimea? Will it be dragged in yet again? You can only think that that's the only possibility.
After Elincia's meeting with Valtome, the Crimean royal knights returned to the capital of Melior, leaving the border villages between Crimea and Gallia completely undefended. The Begnion Central Army crosses the border once more, but Crimea makes no move to march against it. Valtome sees this inaction as a sign of Crimea's capitulation to Begnion's demands. The Begnion forces occupy the Crimean castles and forts on the border with Gallia and prepare to launch their attack. The Laguz Alliance finally makes its way back to Gallia, but word of Begnion's approach allows them no time for rest. The news that Gallia's ally Crimea has allowed Begnion to travel through its lands comes as a great blow to the Laguz Alliance.
Chapter 10. The heart of Crimea begins, and of course, allies would probably feel betrayed. I wonder how Ike feels about it all, because if we're in Gallia, there must be Ike. According to our scouts, the enemy has split into two forces. One is east of the Earth's mountains. The other is approaching from the north by crossing through Crimea. So, they plan on flanking Gallia from the north and east, but we don't stop them. This is gonna hurt. Agreed. What is the Crimean army doing? From what the scouts have said, nothing at all. I'm guessing they're waiting to see how everything pans out. Crimea let Begnion pass without a fight? What about their alliance with Gallia? It's not that simple, Scrimea. Begnion is Crimea's suzerain state. It's difficult for Crimea to refuse Begnion's demands. What? Someone explain to me what that means. How can I explain? Alright, how's this? Begnion still holds political power over countries that want independence from them. Anything you want to add, Ike? Don't look at me. I've always thought the whole idea was ridiculous. Never mind what it means. Has Crimea broken its treaty with us? Not as such. I didn't say it was right, just that it was complicated. It's not complicated at all. Crimea has betrayed Gallia. We cannot let this pass. How dare! Control yourself, Crimea. You're acting like a fool. Who's saying that? My apologies, Your Majesty. It is just... doubt that Crimea has sided with Begnion. Queen Elincia is very clever, and I will not stop trusting her judgment just yet. She most likely allowed the Imperial Army to pass through her lands in order to avoid a slaughter. Who is this Beorc queen who warrants so much trust? Please enlighten us. She is a delightful woman, both in manner and in reign. Her late father, King Ramon, and I forged an alliance between Beorc and Laguz. We sought to bring our peoples closer. She has taken her father's ideals as her own and strives to create a country where anyone, Beorc or Laguz, can live free and in peace. How times have changed. I never could have dreamed of a time where such a Beorc ruler would exist. I must admit, I still have doubts. I don't blame you, my brother. Change has been slow, but the circle of acceptance in Tellius has been widening. As you can see, both Leanne and I have many Beorc friends. Queen Elincia of Crimea is one of them. Both the king and Raisin speak well of this woman? Is she truly so special? She truly is, but right now, that's beside the point. The most important thing is, Elincia will never betray her allies in Gallia. Couldn't agree more. We can trust her. Alright, let's assume for now that Crimea will not aid the Empire in any military fashion during this conflict. Hawk King, let's hear your thoughts. Well, Crimea won't make a move. I see no reason to wait until the Empire reaches Gallia. I prefer to take an army up north and end this mess for good. Very well. Do the Grill mercenaries have anything to add? I agree with Tiban's idea. We should strike while their army is split in half. I'm pretty sure that General Zelgius will be there though. We'd better be careful. Very well. Hawk King, I ask that your forces protect the eastern border. While they do that, I would like you to lead our strike force to the northern border. Take Ranulf with you as well. Send me too, your majesty, please! Let me reclaim my honor, I beg you. I second that, your majesty. Crimea is perfect for this mission. Ranulf? Very well. Will you look after him, Hawk King? Sure, I can handle him. He's easier to keep under control than you are, Lion King. He's all yours then. Now, everyone, prepare to leave before daybreak. We are all depending on you. It sounds like a fairly decisive battle is coming. Not one that will be so story forwarding, I do not know. We'll find out, but one that really will hopefully turn the tides of this march right towards the homelands of the Laguz. With that said, we have only one thing to talk of. What we're wondering is how we're going to make sure we have enough weaponry. That is the be-all and end-all, and who knows how many troops I'll be able to deploy, who knows where I'll need the stuff, but Ike is completely weaponless at this point. And I do wonder if the king, maybe Gifka has something to give us. That would be nice, wouldn't it? And we've got maybe supports to get up as well. Well, it seems that even though I had Mia and Reese in there together, they did not gain in support. Essentially, what we should have done is change the support between Har and Jill, but still we cannot. Still we cannot. Can't believe these guys are still on a sea as well. Of course, there's probably some guys that are more likely to support up faster than others. Gifka, what do you have to say with an importance of 3 stars? Welcome back, you two. Gifka, apologies for worrying you. You persevered through many difficult battles. We're glad to have you back in one piece. Each and every soldier in the army helped me. I couldn't do anything by myself. Alone, I was powerless. That's good, if that's what you learned from this campaign. And it wasn't a wasted effort for Gallia. Good work, Ranulf. Thank you, sir. Crimea, come here. I have something from the king. What is this? It's a Satori sign. It is said to bring out the hidden power of the Laguz. Amazing! Here, it's yours. Ranulf, you should take it. What? Why? The king said it was for you. Yes, you've been looking after me. It's a sign of my appreciation. Crimea. Very well, Ranulf. This is yours to keep. Alright. Thank you, sir. Crimea, you replied to his thanks. Yes. You're welcome. I'm grateful for your continued support. Of course, General. Well, I kind of consider still him a general of his own, if you know what I mean. Well, now we have to deal with the weapon crisis. Somehow we have to make money happen out of no money. No money at all. How are we going to do this? To be honest, we've got a ton of award experience to give out. We can first of all knock up Soren, just that little bit more. Let's top him up to level 15. So he's gained some extra defense. That is not a bad gain. And to level him up fully now would take a further 9,000. But we could get him promoted as well at this point. Which probably isn't that bad idea for us. Probably isn't. Well, let me consider this, because we're going to have to do a lot of rejiggery-aroundy-pokery to sort this out. How are we going to make this all happen? How are we going to make this all work? With Boyd about to promote as well, we've got a lot of considering of things to do in the meantime. Join me next time for more Fire Emblem while I get sorting things out and see what I can do. Bye-bye.